What's up, motherfuckers? I'll pick this one up from Max Egan's from an unknown author. The most terrifying force of death comes from the hands of men who wanted to be left alone. They try so very hard to mind their own business and provide for themselves and those they love. They resist every impulse to fight back, knowing the force and permanent change of life that will come from it. They know that the moment they fight back, their lives as they have lived them are over. The moment the men who wanted to be left alone are forced to fight back, it is a form of suicide. They are literally killing off who they used to be, which is why, when forced to take up violence, these men who wanted to be left alone fight with unholy vengeance against those who murdered their former lives. They fight with raw hate and a drive that cannot be fathomed by those who are merely play acting at politics and terror. True terror will arrive at these people's doors, and they will cry, scream, and beg for mercy, but it will fall upon the deaf ears of the men who just wanted to be left alone. Ain't that fucking true? I mean, goddamn. You people are bothering every aspect of everybody's lives, and there's gonna be a price to pay for it sooner or later. You know, you can't be violent and coerce people and force their ways of living, push them into poverty, tax them to death without consequences. Like, there will be consequences eventually. I'm not quite sure when that day will come, but I know what side I'm gonna be on, and I'm perfectly fine with that eventuality should it be brought to that. I'm at peace with that being the end of me or the end of them. It'd be one way or the other. And even if it was the end of me and them, that would be fine. If my death was to bring about the end of something horrible and the beginning of something great, I'd feel like I fulfilled my purpose here. I'm trying to create a lot more purposes for my life right now, but I don't know. Things are moving pretty fast, so I got a couple of other quotes that I wrote down real quick. When freedom of speech is taken away, then the dumb and silent may be led like sheep to the slaughter. There's forms of that happening right now with this censorship of all these other high-end medical professionals that are speaking out against the fucking utter bullshit that's going on, which in effect shapes people's perceptions on what is merely a perception, a manufactured perception of a manufactured fucking crisis. And then they are led like sheep to the slaughter with these shots. Which we've yet to see the long-term effects of. We've seen short-term effects. You can look them up on the VAERS website for yourself. And the other effects would be is that people are still catching the shit, people are still spreading the shit, and people are still getting hospitalized from the shit. So they would say that they don't seem incredibly safe, and everything else proves that it's not effective. So what exactly is the point? I'm not sure. And nobody around here takes it seriously at all. I mean, nobody. I haven't seen one. You know, you see these freaks on the internet mad dogging motherfuckers about masks and shit, and getting crazy with people about vaccines. There ain't none of that going on here. All the stores play by the rules or whatever, but I don't do it. Nobody bother me. I don't know. One more would be freedom lies in being bold. to ask nothing, to ask for nothing, to expect nothing, and to depend on nothing. So it's you know, handle your own shit. Just handle your own shit, and don't expect for some entity to rob me for your benefit and shit, and then act like you're a moral, virtuous person. Where the fuck did you grow up? You didn't get taught right, that's for sure. But I'm at the car wash. I'm about to wash my shit. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the men that want to be left alone are a powerful bunch, and I think there's a whole bunch of them. Because they ain't got time to be playing on the internet and shit and going to protests and this and that. But you bring that shit to somebody's front door, you better watch out. Because that'll likely get pretty ugly. I feel sorry for the fools that would try to implement that shit on behalf of people in fancy suits in Washington, D.C. or the state capitol. You better smarten the fuck up. Look for a change of occupation, or at least draw that line somewhere. You gotta know. Y'all swore oaths to uphold and defend the Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic, but out here still enforcing laws that are completely unconstitutional, that were implemented by domestic terrorists in Washington, D.C. or the state capitol. What's the definition of terrorism? It's to use violence or coercion to carry out a political agenda. Well, that's what the whole fucking system is anyway. So, by their own definition, they're all a bunch of fucking domestic terrorists. Not a real popular idea, but you take away all the fancy euphemisms and fluffy language and just break it down to bare bones of what the fuck it actually is, that's what's going on. And the police around here are cool and shit. They ain't doing none of that. I don't see them doing any of that either. But boy, they do it in New York, and Los Angeles, and all over the world. You better wake up before you get put to sleep. Both sides. But anyway, that's it. I gotta go.